Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Coach JC. Everyone gather around should begin one today. Today's topic is a lot of men you dealt with in the past should have been on left on unseen or unread. A lot of times, situations you look back, maybe 4 or 5 years ago when you got into a relationship, might have been good. You've been on a couple of dates. Y'all probably went all the way. You might even have kids together. You may be looking back like 4 years, 5 years. And today you're like, man, why did I get in a situation? Why did I get involved with my ex? Why did I have a child with this man? But it's just a setback. And what that teaches you is that hey, it happens. You're human. God's gonna throw the challenges your way. But how you get up? You got knocked down, but you gonna stand up or you gonna lay down. You know what I mean? You gonna keep making the wrong choices, or you gonna be a little more selective and more careful when you're out there dating and stuff. That's all it is. Same thing applies to men too. The same. We get knocked down. We get cheated on. We get hurt as well too. You gonna stay down, or you gonna let it consume you, or you gonna learn from it, grow from it. I feel like you're gonna learn from every situation, every relationship, whether good or bad. It takes you into your next relationship or even your next marriage. Like I said, for me personally, like I said, I've learned so much from my past failures, my past losses, and I'm very grateful for those experiences. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. Maybe like a bad person. I was, like I was saying, early 20s and stuff, I was getting involved and stuff. Just, I'm saying, a little bit more settled in. Like I said, I've been married for about 5 years. My wife, so things are settled in. So I'm good now, I'm good a place. But I had to go through those stories too. When you out there dating, you get catfish, you get get those. I remember I was wiring money to somebody and stuff through Western Union and stuff. I remember getting stood up, but now I can just laugh at it. I laugh at this experiences. I can laugh at the place. I can laugh at it. I'm at a place in mind where I can laugh at it. You know what I mean? Like look back at it, and like, oh yeah, I'm glad I went through that. Because guess what? It was just sharpening me. It was just like getting me ready for my wife. You know what I mean? It was like, okay. The guy was like, yeah, you gonna go through all this before you get your wife. You think you gonna have it easy and smooth sailing? No sir, no sir. You gonna go through some cracks. You gonna go through the storm. You gonna go through the mud. You ain't not just gonna have it easy peasy. It ain't this kind of world. But yeah, you gotta go through some of that. Like I said, make you a better person. Make you come out a lot stronger. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get that one heartbreak. You gotta go through it. You gotta feel it, feel that pain. And guess what? You ain't gonna let it go, and not gonna go for long. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure that we stand up, we're gonna brush our shoulders off. We're not gonna let it dwell us, so you're gonna keep going, keep fighting regardless, That's how I always look at it. Just look at it motivation. Anytime I go through any challenge, any kind of storm, I look at it as a challenge, as a test to a better outcome. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just laugh at it right now. You know what I mean? Like yeah, I went through a storm. Had them first days and got rejected a lot. It was all worth it though. You know what I mean? Not to say I was perfect. It was not perfect. A lot of stuff to be worked on, but I'm glad I went through the storm. You know what I'm saying? Have my own nucleus of families. It's good to have. My wife, my baby. Couldn't ask for more. As a married man, can't ask for more. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say. Like I said, look back. You like, man, why I go involved with that man? Why not do all that? But guess what? God just protecting you. He's just gonna show you a different way in the future. That's all I really gotta say. Until next time out, Coach JC.